Hi, good morning. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the joint SME WSG webinar on reinventing the marine and offshore workforce, available support to develop capabilities in the new normal. My name is Gyoxi, and I'm the Manager for Jobs Creation and Development at the Association of Singapore Marine Industries. I manage the Marine PCP program, among other things related to capability building. Today's webinar is part of SME's effort to educate and encourage more companies in the marine and offshore industry to leverage on existing resource support to upskill and reskill both current and new talents in your company to help the company better adapt to what would be the new normal. Okay, we will like to start off by thanking the following supporting organizations for their assistance and support. Enterprise Singapore, JTC, Singapore Maritime Foundation, Society of Naval Architects and Marine Engineers Singapore have helped us to spread the word of today's event to the wide marine and offshore engineering companies here in Singapore. Whereas we will be having presenters from ICF, International Private Limited, Mancast Holdings Limited, and Vita Enterprises Private Limited to share their experiences later. Before we begin the webinar, I would like to bring your attention to some of the admin matters. Should you have any questions, you can type them in the Q&A function anytime throughout the presentation, which can be found at the bottom of the screen. You may also choose to upvote other people's questions, and we will try our best to answer them during the Q&A session, with priorities going to those with the most upvotes first. Thank you. Okay, here's an overview of today's program. We have just went through a quick admin brief, following which we will have a short welcome note from the Vice President of SME's Council and sharing by Workforce Singapore, or better known as WSG. After WSG's sharing, we will have companies themselves to share their own first-hand experiences, and after which a sharing on a portal by Enterprises for Enterprises to help companies employ more Singaporeans and PR into the marine sector. While we have allocated the Q&A session at the end of the webinar, participants can start to type or drop in their questions in the Q&A box first. Our Executive Director, Mr. Wilson Ang, will then facilitate the Q&A session. Without further ado, I would like to invite the newly elected Vice President of the SME Council and the Chairman of SME's Manpower Committee, Mr. Ee Lok Yin, to give a welcome note. Mr. Ee, please.
Hi. Gyoxi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Yi. I'm the Vice President of SME and also I also chair the Manpower Committee, with the help of the Secretariat. So we are glad to see so many participants today, right? And we have outlined quite a number of topics to cover. Basically, we have WSG to cover, explain to all of you what is Marine PCP, right? As the title of today's webinar suggests, I think a lot of people will be asking why we need to reinvent ourselves, right? Especially our M&O workforce. As you know, today's world has never been more volatile, uncertain and complex. As we deal with the global pandemic, especially COVID, is driving all of us crazy, right? And many companies are actually pivoting to renewables. And what WSG has prepared, they came out of this Marine PCP basically to help companies like us, big or small, shipyards or marine SMEs to change, right? Change their business model, change the workforce profile, change the way how we work. So with the Marine PCP, we are able to equip our employees with the right skill sets as we pivot, as we change our business model, right? And today's webinar, there are a few topics that we will cover, like what I mentioned just now. WSG will explain in detail what is Marine PCP and how companies like us, SMEs, shipyards can actually tap the funding from government, right? And with this funding, we can actually equip our people with new capabilities and skill sets. I will take this opportunity to thank our council members, my colleague Annie Chua, who is also a member, newly elected council member. She will be sharing her experience, right? And also Mr. Glenda Singh from Mencast, he will also be sharing some of the best practices and and his experience with regards to this marine PCP. Last but not least, we have also invited Ms. Jenny Wee, who is a business leader and active volunteer with Southwest CDC, for taking time off, to join us for in this today's webinar. She'll be explaining more about how she has got a platform to help us to recruit more locals and PR. So I think we are glad to have a presence here today to share her knowledge and also her experience, in getting more workers or more local workers to join the industry. So I do not want to delay the webinar, right? So I wish everybody a fruitful webinar, and I urge all to reach out to the Secretariat if you have any questions or for assistance. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Yee. Next on, I would like to invite Ms. Esther Chan, Senior Manager for the Manufacturing Division at WSG, which is our partner for today's webinar, to give her presentation on the latest support made available for the jobs reskilling and upskilling, jobs redesign, and capability transfer. Ms. Esther Chan, please.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Esther. Thanks, Yotzi, for introducing myself. Let me just share my screen. Okay. All right. So thanks to the host, thanks Esme for hosting this with us together with WSG, and for organizing this webinar for us to actually get to know the organizations who are attending today, this morning. So what I'm going to share today is really about the PCPs, as well as this other program called the Capability Transfer Program. These are the programs that will help to support your manpower needs, especially during this time when it's quite challenging for everybody in terms of business and in terms of in general. Yeah. So based on our engagements with the various companies these past few months, we realized that there are actually 3 key manpower challenges. In fact, these are not just the past few months, but definitely over the past few years, these are the key challenges that have been arising, and that the employers across all sectors, including marine and offshore, have been facing. So I wanted to actually use this chance and this opportunity today to deep dive into each of them, and to also share with you how you can address these challenges through the various programs that WSG can have to offer. So the first manpower challenge that we have observed during our engagements, and which employers have been facing, was of course the changing economic and business environment, especially as companies within marine offshore shift towards renewables, towards a more sustainable environment, towards offshore wind and LNG, for example. And of course, the pandemic has accelerated parts of these transformations. And in this climate, as business change, as businesses transform, there is a need to ensure that your workforce is also able to catch up, is also able to adapt to these changes, so that they can continue to support your organization. This is especially important as Singapore faces a tightening workforce, with all the restrictions on the border closures, with the restrictions on the entry of our foreign counterparts, etc. At the same time, employers also face shifts. They also have to contend with shifts within the workforce itself. These days, some of these workforce shifts include higher aspirations amongst our local workforce, amongst our local job seekers and workers, that go beyond salaries and remuneration. They desire jobs with clear progression pathways, and which can offer them a better work-life balance, allowing them to build meaningful career with positive impact on society. Some of them also, with working from home as going to be a new normal, they also want that kind of segregation between work and life. So these are the things that moving forward, they are likely to look out for more as they look for the job opportunities out there. So this definitely will affect the marine offshore sector as well. Employers who can adapt to these challenges and these aspirations, right? And they are able to transform jobs. So they don't just offer jobs, you are able to offer careers, and you're able to transform your jobs into careers. We tend to have better manpower success. That's what we observed. And it's not just with recruitment success, it's also with staff retention. Because the workforce is shifting, it's not just people out there, but also people within your organization. And through job redesign, in forging more attractive and better career opportunities and career progression within your organization, your employers, you yourself as an employer will not only improve your productivity with the new technology and everything and efficiency, but you also be better equipped to retain your employees so that you can keep them. During our engagements, we met companies who told us that, hey, I spend so much, I invested in my workers, but there are times when we invest already and they actually move out to other people, and that is a brain drain and that is a waste of resources. But when you train them and you also transform their job, make it more enhanced, make it more attractive, you're able to actually retain them and give them better job satisfaction. Yep. So when it comes to support from our end, from WSG end, we have the PCPs. So for marine offshore itself, we have the marine PCP, which I'll get into it in the later part of the presentation. But for PCP, let me just give you an overview first. For those who are not familiar, PCP actually comprise several modalities. Okay, the first one I want to go into is this modality called the redeployment/job redesign reskilling modality for existing workers. So this particular type of PCP, it targets your current workers who have been with you for a while. They're workers that you want to keep for long term, and you want to tap into their skills that they have built up together with you in long run. And once you have completed the job transformation, and your existing staff needs to get upgraded in terms of skills and capabilities. You can't just transform and redesign your job. You also need to make sure that they have the capabilities to do the job that you want them to do right now. And when they get the skills and when they feel that they're training, that the company is investing in them, they will also feel more engaged. They also feel more empowered and to be able to do their job, new job well. And that also increases their job satisfaction. So at the same time, the new job roles, right, can also help you to attract the new incoming people. You can also attract new talents as well because they now meet the aspirations of the generations of workforce to come. So for this particular modality, the redeployment and JRR, what we call in short form, the JRR PCP, what they do is we actually help to provide you with salary support. We also help you to defray the training costs you may incur when you reskill and redeploy your existing workers who have been with you to new job roles. And this not only helps to minimize redundancy, it also allow you to ensure that people that you previously trained are now have new skills to take on the new job roles. And this can continue to support your business transformation, especially and also your expansion. Yeah. How it works is you have your existing PMETs with you. They are affected by the transformation. Maybe the area or division they're working at is undergoing certain restructuring, or they actually want this particular business division to actually go into this new area, let's say LNG or renewables. So what happens is they will actually undergo structured training during this PCP, and then they will be ready for the new job that you want them to do. There are slight differences between this redeployment and JRR. So let's go into redeployment first. Redeployment is when your employee's job is at risk of being made redundant as the job gets phased out. So when you're transforming your business, there are certain times when certain business units may need to be closed for you to consolidate your resources and then to invest in another area of the company. But the thing is, you may feel very like, oh, wasted. Like, how can you just let those workers, who have been with you for many years to, just leave, and you want to retain them? So what happened is you can look at within the new division or look at you throughout the whole company. How can you actually redeploy and transfer these employees into these other new areas? So the redeployment PCP help you to do that. It allows you to reskill them. So then, your years of investment in them is not wasted. And I would like for everyone to actually bear in mind these two main numbers, 70% and 90%, because this is the amount of salary support that we will offer. For those who are age 40, who are age below 40, the younger ones, they will then receive up to 70% of monthly salary support under this PCP when we deploy them. For those who are age 14 and above, they'll receive a higher and more enhanced rate at 90%. Of course, they are capped at $4,000 and $6,000. Yeah. Redeployment itself is 6 months long. It is the same as the new hire PCP, which I'll go into a little bit later. For the job redesign, reskilling, this is slightly different from redeployment in the sense that the worker's job is not at immediate risk of being made redundant. What happened is, as you transform the business unit, within the business unit, you're also redesigning the jobs to make sure that the job is relevant to the new business that it's going to do. So what happened is they are being redesigned, reinvented, and these jobs, these workers themselves needs to be reskilled so that they can take on the new jobs within the same division or in a new division to actually support your company's longer term transformation. Again, it's a 70 and 90% kind of support based on age. So those who are younger, below 40, you will get up to 70% of monthly salary support. Those who are age 40 and above, the more mature ones, they will definitely get higher salary support. Because job redesign, because your business transformation under job redesign is slightly more urgent, it's slightly more quickened, and it is usually pegged at 3 months. So in terms of salary, the period of support for GR PCP is 3 months. The redeployment is 6 months. At present, for Marine PCP, we do not have the JR modality as yet, but in time to come, we definitely we can look into that and also work with your company. If your company is actually going through transformation and you're interested in JR, we can actually look into that, and then we can discuss that further, how we can support in terms of that. Yeah. But let's say your company is currently going through Industry 4.0 transformation, you're importing Industry 4.0 technologies, or you're going through automation or any new technology, and you want your workers to embark on certain skill sets that is new, like very cutting edge, and so that they can make use of the new tech. The JRR modality is also available under this PCP called I.4.0 PCP, which also supports you in adopting all the new tech, all these things. Note that for both of these modalities to work, there must be a change in job scope. There must be either enhancement, there must be some, maybe can be an expansion of job scope for them as well. Yeah. So next manpower challenge that, sorry, I think someone is speaking. Okay, I see okay, Ken, thanks. I will address the questions later. Yeah. So the second manpower challenge that we observe is that employers these days also face, this is a perennial challenge, especially in Singapore. They face challenge and difficulty attracting local talents. Yeah, some of them come to us and say, hey, I can't seem to find local people. I've been trying for months for this particular role, and I couldn't find people with the right skills to get into this role. Or I have this role for years or for a period of time, and the locals are just not interested because they want something more desk-bound, they want something more comfortable. Yeah. Employers tend to believe, what we also is also, it takes two hands to clap. Definitely job seekers need to change their mindset and be more flexible in the kind of job they do. But at the same time, employers also need to come to the table with also that change in mindset. They tend to believe that job seekers, need to have 100% skills fit. They need to have a full set of the requisite skills to be ready for the job, and can hit the ground running. And they prefer people who they can actually plug and play. Just plug in, and then they can do the job for you. In this case, you actually limit yourself. You limit yourself to the kind of people that you are able to reach out to. And there are also other factors affecting whether you can really reach out to them and get them and hire them and put them in your team. Yeah. At the same time, you also have skills shortage. As you embark on transformation, etc., all the skills that you may need from now to into the future, there are some times when that skills is not generally maybe out there, and you need to actually train them up. You have someone who's willing to learn, come to you, and there's a chance that you are able to keep them and then just train them up and then bring it up to speed. these people may be only meeting 70 to 80% of what you're looking for, but with a kind of a top up in the skills, you're able to get them 100% ready to get to work for you in a shorter period of time. And this is what we are trying to do with the PCP as well. So this time around, I'm talking about the place and train mode. It is targeted at new hires, new mid-career hires. So for mid-careers, definitely you can look at within the industry. That's why we call it intra-sector. You also can look at people who are outside marine and offshore. So outside marine and offshore, we have people like oil and gas. We have people from aerospace. We have people from all over. And mid-careers without what is the good thing about them is that they actually bring with them a wealth of experience. They may not have direct experience in marine and offshore, but what they bring is the soft skills they have, people management skills, teamwork, team management, communication. Some of them may even have certain tech skills that is horizontal across the board. They can actually use them, or they have skills to analyze data, to clean data, and all these are getting more and more in demand, not just in marine offshore, but also across all sectors. So when you expand your search, your field search to people who are mid-career, you definitely be able to have a bigger pool. You are able to have that one step ahead of competitors, and definitely you're able to find more people out there who are willing to work in marine offshore and who are willing to learn, put in the hours, and then to be ready and then hit the ground running with you for you. Yeah. So for this particular PCP, again, it is someone who is PMET, their mid-career definitely. If they're from the sector within the sector, they shouldn't be doing the same role as the one that you're trying to get them to do. It's something that is outside the role that you want to do. For instance, I have someone who used to be a sales engineer, but you need them to do, let's say, IoT or IIoT sales manager role. So then there is a gap between what they used to know, what they used to do, and currently what we need them to do. So that is actually a mid-career switch. So this PCP will bring them through the structured training, so then they can actually be ready and top up their skills to be ready for the job that you need them to do. Employers themselves will receive cost fee subsidies as well as salary support for these newly hired PMETs. Yeah, and the best thing is that during this time, it can be stacked with your jobs growth incentive. So JGI is something that MOM has come up with, and it actually helps to it actually encourage companies who are able to hire right now to actually go on to hire and be bold in hiring during this economic climate. Yeah. So this is the setup, this is the structure of the marine PCP itself. So marine PCP, I think just now Mr. E has also mentioned about it. This is a PCP that is also run by our program manager, Esme. So yeah, it's a 6-month program. It's a 6 months PCP. It comprises both on-the-job training as well as facilitated classroom training. So when you have your new hire, you hire someone new from outside your career, you actually go put them through WSQ training. The good thing about this PCP is that it's totally customizable. It depends on the role that you want them to do and the kind of skills that you need them to do. So you customize the kind of courses that you need them to go for, and thereafter you put them in-house training and on-the-job training where they can learn and pick up skills from their mentors, from their employer, from their peers, as well as from their supervisors. And within 6 months, they'll be ready for the job and you can proceed. A lot of times, marine offshore, the companies operate on a project-based kind of business, and there are times when you have projects coming in the future. So I will encourage employers to not just look at the current and immediate needs, but also look at your future, your manpower needs. As the economy starts to improve, as we start to get normal again in this new normal, and the businesses pick up and projects will definitely come out, there's a time when it comes where you need to ramp up your manpower again. And why not tap into the mid-careers actually to do that and to help support you in your longer term. Yeah. So this is the question that some companies will come ask us, like, okay, so I know about PCPs now, and I am open to mid-careers. I'm open to hiring people who now may not be from marine, but I'm willing to train them. I'm actually going through transformation and I want to bring my workers along with me and then to continue supporting my company and build my company up together with me. So am I eligible? These are the requisite, these are the eligibility criteria for the companies. Yeah. So I will not belabor the points. I think they are all quite straightforward and they're quite hygienic. Yeah. But to take note that for the redeployment or the JRR PCPs, we will need to actually assess them. We will need to submit the details of what's your business transformation plan. So then we can also work with ESME to evaluate and to assess. Yeah. Our bottom line is this: we want to help every company. As long as you guys have hiring need or have a manpower need, you want to transform, you want to upskill your workforce, Workforce Singapore and ESME are here to help. Yeah. So if you're interested, sign up for the PCPs. This is the QR code and this is the link. You can find out more information about these PCPs. And after this presentation, I'll also pass you my numbers, my details, and you can actually contact, get in touch with us, and we will can set up a one-to-one meeting with you to even discuss more and to assess what kind of business needs you have, what kind of manpower needs you have. Yeah. Now, the third manpower challenge that I would like to address today, and this is the last one, is their company. So we talk about business transformation. We also talk about economic changes and everything. There's also one thing that is disrupting all of this, and that is tech disruption. Yeah, technological disruption. So we talk about Industry 4.0 coming in. Some of you may have heard of Industry 4.0 human capital initiative. Some of you even beyond it. Of course, this contributes to the first challenge I'll talk about regarding the changing business environment. But here I want to talk about how companies can make use of these emerging new technologies to gain a competitive edge over others. But at times when we do that, right, our local workforce may not have the capabilities to make use of this new technology yet. So for example, so we have several companies who are on board this program called Capability Transfer Program. What happens is they see this need, they see this gap within the market that is emerging. So I think in recent years, there was, I think the IMO actually came out with this rule about the sulfur caps. And by 2020, there's a sulfur cap about, I can't recall the number offhand. But because of this, all the boats, all the vessels, they need to, adapt to make sure that they meet this new regulation. So then in this case, the marine, there's a need for the marine, hybrid kind of propulsion, this marine hybrid propulsion market. There's this niche coming up. And it's a good chance for our local companies to catch on to this particular new business opportunity. So what happened is we have a marine offshore company who came to us and they said, hey, I know people from overseas who are starting to do this and they're building ships that, with this kind of propulsion system, it's going to help us move into a bit more sustainable and meet all the regulations that the international committee has put on us. Why not with this? But the thing is, our local workforce do not have this capability to do so. So we actually need these foreign capabilities in to transfer them into Singapore. How do we do that? So there are three ways. One way is that we invite these foreign specialists in. We ask them to train our workers, impart their skills and wisdom and capabilities into our local workforce. Then our local workforce now have these capabilities to do what you need them to do. The second one is for us to send our local workers overseas for them to train with these specialists. So once they're trained, they come back, and then there'll be the third one where they come back, they can actually train people that who is in their team. So this is also what we call the train the trainer. So they come back and they're trained, and then people who are trained, they'll go on to train others. And this is how we actually build deeper capabilities within our workforce within Singapore itself. It allows us to transfer the global capabilities into Singapore and truly make us into a marine hub that we are. Yeah. And this actually complements the existing big programs that we have. So let's say your company is interested to do this particular program, you will find a niche. There's a new technology you want to bring in, and then you manage to train a select few, maybe 1 to 3 workers that you have in this. And then once they have ready, you want to redesign the whole division. You want the whole transform the division and the business to actually focus on this particular project, and so that you can branch out and expand into this new growth area. So what happens is then you have naturally reinvent the jobs around this new technology. People in your workforce, they will then need to undergo job redesign and definitely reskilling. So that's when the PCP can come in together with this program to support you in your long-term manpower needs. For this CTP, the Capability Transfer Program, all the project proposals will be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. Ideally, we would like to have sight of the proposals first before we come in and say, okay, we will support you. The level of support again is on a case-by-case basis. This one will actually require more in-depth discussion with the company itself and for us to actually see the kind of needs that you have. Yeah. Under this program, you have salary support. You also have attachment related costs. If you need to send people overseas, then you have that. We can sponsor the airfare, cost of living. You have people coming in, again, we sponsor the airfare and cost of living for the period of time of training. But now with COVID, with now with pandemic, we can't actually send people around the world so freely. So what happened is we also allow, under this program, we also allow hybrid training. So that means we actually help, support the training of foreign specialists, training of our local workers, etc. Yeah. So if you're interested to find out more about this particular program, this is again the link as well as the QR code. You can also drop me an email or can hit me up via WhatsApp or call me, or we can deal with this over the Q&A to the best of my abilities, and then we can definitely hash it out. So I'm Esther. Again, once again, thank you for listening to my presentation, and it's a pleasure to present to all of you. This is my details, my handphone number, as well as my email. So I'll pass the time back to Gyoxi for her to invite the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. Moving on, we have a sharing session where we have invited 3 member companies to share on their experiences with the Marine Professional Conversion Program for new hires and redeployment. To start off, I would like to invite Ms. Annie Chua, Chief Executive Officer, and Mr. Tan Chien Rong, QA Manager, both from ICF International Private Limited, to share their experience with our audience. Ms. Chua and Mr. Tan, if you are ready.
Thanks, Gyoxi. Gyoxi, can you allow me to share the screen?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, you can proceed, Annie.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Hi, good morning. Thank you, Asmi, and thank you, WSG. It's been a pleasure to share with you this morning about what ICF is doing and also our experience and journey embarking on both the PCP and CTP. Now, ICF Group is a one-stop total integrated turnkey solutions, interior fit-outs to marine, oil and gas, cruise and ferry. ICF was established since 1989 in Singapore with over 32 years of experience and expertise in new build, modernizations, conversions and maintenance for cruise ship, ferry, support vessels, luxury yachts, offshore platforms and rigs, specialized marine vessels. Backed with a vast group of customers and partners, we have adopted a slogan, "We build your dream." Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, today, ICF Group operates globally. Where ships go, we go. Apart from Singapore HQ, the group encompasses with 8 satellite offices completed with more than 500 projects executed across 25 locations. Now, these are our differentiator. So ICF is an Asia-leading cruise ship solutions specialist in new builds, conversion, modernizations, and maintenance. We are also the first to apply innovative design in oil and gas vessels. Apart from the cruise ships and the oil and gas, what's also make us different is the most trusted interior fit-out for luxury yachts. In the recent year, we are also embarked into the new builds for luxury yachts. In short, these are our services and our competency from architectural, electrical, HVAC, piping, house structure, and house painting, and our expertise and competency from consulting to products. With a vast track record as follows, these are what we have done so far. Now, what is now about PCP? We first heard about PCP from WSG, where we needed to seek and on our recruitment and on our enhanced job matching scheme. So next, we were actually referred to ASME and has subsequently, ASME really assist us throughout our PCP journey. Thank you so much, ASME. In overview, what we are doing are hybrid, complex integrated solutions and processes. PMAX holds vital roles and responsibility in many organizations. Hiring PMAX has been a real challenge. Cycling back what Esther had shared and also Mr. E had shared, honestly, M&OE were being seen as heavy, oily, boring, out of town, blue-collar jobs and are not appealing to Singaporeans and PR. Younger gens would prefer to go somewhere else. Now with PCP program, we have hired R&D, special projects, project manager, production manager, QA, etc. Now this PCP program has really equipped us and to transit these candidates from one industry to another, apart from the financial support. What I personally really also in favor were the classroom training, that the candidates were trained and retrained. They have been updated with what is the new methodologies and the new concept of way of doing. Through mentorships or through OJT, it benefits both the employers and the employees. Today, I'm going to share two of our PCP and CTP candidates. I have Tan Jianrong next to share with us the value creation this PCP program has benefited him and the company. Jianrong, would you please share with us your experience?
Thank you, Annie. Hi, I'm Jianrong. Please allow me to share on how PCP has benefited me. So I was from the shipbuilding and ship repair industry in my previous company, dealing with mainly hull structural inspections and pre-commissioning and testing activities. However, in ICF, we are dealing with cruisers and yachts interior fit-outs, which focus more on the fine detailing and grand aesthetic finish looks. The cruise industry is different from traditional shipbuilding and ship repair industry. So through PCP program, it has prepped me well in taking up my new role in ICF in this new industry by taking upskill courses, not only on my soft skills. I also went through the on-job training, which has really helped me in better and deeper understanding while exploring the new challenges. PCP OJT also allows me to understand the processes of different departments, which helps me in identifying any gaps in the system and therefore providing the opportunity for improvement. And with that, I also like to take the chance to say thank you to ASME for all the support and encouragement given to the PMATs out there who are willing to step out of their comfort zones and also the courage to make the career switch. This program definitely helps in boosting our confidence in the transition. Lastly, I am also very grateful to ICF for giving me the opportunity to take up this new role and making sure that I feel comfortable in this transition period. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jianrong. So Jianrong has been with us for 2 years. Next, I will share a short video on this George, whom was with us for 4 years. We have recently sent George to US for some special projects. So we recruited George from precision engineering industry and we enrolled him into marine PCP. It was challenging for him in the initial stage as the type of work was totally different from what we used to do. But with the help of marine PCP, which is consists of, again, the structured training. So together with the mentorship, George was able to transit very smoothly into his new role. Unfortunately, he's not able to share today, but I have prepared a video of his transitions Please enjoy the video.
Hey guys, together.
So
They were looking for me for instructions. I was new at the point of time. I was just afraid that they would think that I wasn't qualified enough to tell them what needs to be done. Previously, I was doing sales in precision engineering. So day in, day out, we'll be doing procurement, to sales, to follow up with the clients. It was comfortable in the beginning, but after a while, it tends to get a little bit more monotonous. So I started looking for a more exciting role. My friend referred me to the marine and offshore industry, and I decided to give it a try and take the next step forward. But the transition wasn't easy. It was a totally new and different environment for me. I've never worked in the ship refurbishment industry, so I basically have to relearn and start from scratch. Thankfully, ICF International sent me on a marine professional conversion program. It was a very hands-on program. I was able to get onto ships for the ongoing projects to see how things are being done. One of the most useful skills I've actually picked up was design. It has helped me to understand blueprints and technical drawings better, and I could use it to explain to my team in specific details. Hey, I got a plan.
Okay, you.
But it was scary to do a mid-career switch. I'm glad I did it 2 years ago. Definitely this role has a set of challenges, but it allowed me to learn something new and grow every day.
In short, please sign up PCP and see how the wonders value creation works for both your companies and your employees. Thank you so much, Asmi. Thank you so much, WSG. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie and Zhenrong. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Keldon Goh, Sales and Safety Manager from Vita Enterprises Private Limited, to share his personal experience when he was a new hire and that of the benefits for his company. Mr. Keldon Goh, please.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Keldon from Vita Enterprise as the Sales and Safety Manager. So I would like to touch on my previous background. I was initially in the geotechnical, working for the government under certain projects. So after the duration has passed and I have to move on, I faced the difficulty of looking similar jobs, which is very niche in geotechnical in Singapore industry. So by chance, actually, I managed to came across to my managing director, Andrew Tan. So he actually offered me a chance and the opportunity to participate in the PCP program. Hang on, the slide isn't moving. Yeah, so this is from the photos, you can see I was in the geotechnical workplace. Siti, can you move on? So I would like to touch a bit on Vita Enterprise. So we have actually 200 more employees as of now, and we are the RC in Sembawang Shipyard and Keppel Benoi. So right now, Vita Enterprise is actually more specialized into marine engineering, mechanical engineering, especially pipe fabrication work and installation. We have now moved on into eco-friendly surface preparations products, which is part of our PCP program. So in this WSQ initiative of the PCP program, we are bringing multi-solutions, which is mainly for box schooner cleaning, internal pipe flushing, etc. for this program. So for choosing the new hire program, Vita has managed to train me from being in the construction background to now in the marine industry. I would like to thank the chance of WSQ to offer me with no marine background at all to retrain and reskill with the necessary skills and knowledge to continue working and upgrade in the near future. Oh, it's not moving. So Siti, can you just, yeah. So this is the program that I'm actually was train under. This is the multi-solutions product. Yeah. It's actually part of it's actually a product from the Norway. So my company has actually brought this in to replace those highly acidic cleaning chemicals using organic acids. Yeah. And yeah, this is the box cooler cleaning, which I was in the OJT. And this is the box cooler recoating job. Thank you. So last of all, I would like to thank Vita for the chance to give me the chance to keep active in the workforce and also in the PCP program. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Kelden. Now I would like to invite Mr. Glenda Sim, Executive Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, Mencast Holdings Limited, to share his experience on the Marine Redeployment PCP for Mencast. Under what circumstances did the company embark on the redeployment PCP and how it helped the company? Mr. Sim, please.
Can you see me? Kelsey, you need to start the video for me.
Yes.
Okay.
Your deck is already flashed there.
Okay. Okay. Morning, everyone. Okay, this is Glendo. I work for Mencast. Good to see you online electronically. Upfront, I would like to share how Mencast embarked on the conversion program. I guess the key word here is reinventing our marine and offshore workforce due to the doldrums that we faced in 2016. Next. Right, as you know, the oil prices went down to $20 and most of our clients were hit. And that had a very negative impact on our revenue. So oil prices, rig building activities, slowed correspondingly, and then significantly. Our banks were also very worried at that time that whether should they continue to support these industries, right? And then as a company, we have to decide strategically and critically what to do. First is about downsizing, and then right sizing. So it's two different things. Downsize, you cut; right size, you see where are the revenues that you need to deploy your resources. So survival was key. All right. So and then as the top management, I guess our team also need to look at where we continue to work and where we not work. Where is the premium revenue that we can take the company to? And also, basically it's down to the survival known. Right. So next. So it was quite a coincidence when I met up with Winnie, then from SME, and also Wong Fong from WSG. They came and we met up, and they suggested that why not make us go on the PCP route. So we listened, and I guess we talked to our team, and they're all very supportive. All right, so we started with 4 PCP programs and ended in the second half of 2017, and also subsequently the first half of 2019. In total, we have 66 workers, right, that went through this program and they have benefited from it. I guess the key point to highlight about the PCP on this perspective of the company is about retraining the staff and upgrading their skill, right? So this is directing at when we want to pivot our new businesses so that we can grow the revenue stream without employing more workers to add to the pressure on the cash flow of the company, and also seeking more working capital. So if we have the retrained staff with the help of the PCP program, then this retained staff can take on new jobs, new skills. So when the sector recover, hopefully, the staff is able to perform across different areas, or they can be multitask, right? And that would be beneficial. Next. All right, this is some of the highlights of the program in action, a side job and also in the classroom context, right? OJT training. All right. So what does the role of SME then? They were the program administrator. Literally, they explained the program to Mancast on our team, and work hand in hand with us, to complete the applications. Applications were not difficult, right? And then this was quite rapid. And last but not least, the final claims and administration of the reimbursement was on a timely manner. So the entire process was transparent, efficient, and professional. So kudos to SME and WSG. Next. All right, just a quick one who benefited from our organization. We have Mr. Arifin here. He was used to be a steel department on all the CNC cutting. Subsequently, when we switched to hydrocarbon waste system, so he became a supervisor working in that area. So now he works between steel work and also the management of our waste treatment plant. Next. Right. So this is what Arvin, on his testimonial, that he's happy and he's doing well. And last but not least, he feels that he's contributing to the company. Next. All right. This is another of our workers who have been with us for 30 years, Kowiki. In the past, he used to be a machinist for conventional machines. And now with the PCP, right, he was trained in the CNC machine. So it's more productive for us. And then we do not have to, hire more CNC machinists, right, turning to robotics. So the words from Mr. Cole was he was able to learn new concepts. And then of course, he realized that, the patient's encouragement, not only from management, but from his peers, right, is able to step up. So he's grateful that he was given the opportunity to participate. Next. Right, Edwin, okay. Mr. Edwin Chen, he was a QC engineer and then QC manager. After the program, he did a tour of duty with the operation side, dive deeper into production, foundry works, machining, and recently he was promoted to general manager, right, of our stand gear equipment department. Okay, next. All right, yeah. So I guess these are the 3 out of the 66, workers. And then literally, I couldn't say more. I couldn't be happier to say that the project was really, really enriching and beneficial. So typically, if we want to pivot into new businesses, right, we can do a test bed and then gradually train our own workforce, right, and then to take on the challenges, right. On the workers' part, that I guess they maybe for a start they could be quite apprehensive, don't know whether it's true or is it something that the boss is going to change my role so that if I don't perform, I might be asked to leave. I guess the trust and the conviction of the management to the workers is key. That both parties must have the patience and the mutual respect and trust that this is for the beneficial with a common alignment, towards the goal of the company. then I think that will lower the safeguard in terms of their mindset. All right, next. So how PCP has benefited? I guess when we are facing the low tides and we are fighting the tide, is always challenges, but we don't see this as problems. I guess the marine and offshore players or the SMEs are not quitters, right? We will continue to fight and continue to persevere with the tenacity, that we will move forward. So not only we need to continue to dream, but we need our workforce to partner us. And then one of the action plan is about PCP, enabling us to enrich the workforce in new areas of growth and opportunities. And at the end of the day, it's all about staying alive and casting the line so that we hope that we can catch a fish. With that, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Gandersim. Indeed, we are very happy that the Marine PCP has benefited your companies and your employees, and we hope that this will encourage more companies to come forward to actually leverage on this PCP to help them in their business. Okay, I would like to thank all our 3 member companies and their representatives for the valuable sharing of their experiences with the Marine PCP. Next on the program, I would like to invite guest presenter in Jenny Wee, a district councillor of the Southwest Community Development Council, to share with us the Good Portal, which is a new initiative in collaboration with Southwest CDC to help our companies to reach out to more local job seekers. Ms. Jenny Wee, please.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Right, I can't share my screen. Can I be given? Yeah, okay, great. Right, let me just share my screen. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the invitation. And just to show, I hope that you can see the full screen. Okay, this is my name card, just to give you some background of what I'm doing, so you won't get confused as what I'm doing as my position in the whole thing. I'm actually a district councillor in Southwest CDC as a volunteer. I've been volunteering for the past 12 years and helmed quite a lot of big projects. And so I am actually, I employ myself. I run my own business in a different industry, but in an industry that also needs a lot of workers, and we also cannot find workers. So which is why that resulted me coming together to work with different organizations to hold community job fair, right? So I'll give you a little bit of history later, but recently we actually launched the Good Job Portal. It's spelled as QOOD, but it's pronounced as GOOD, okay? Because, creative people tend to have this kind of wordplay. So it's Good Job Portal. And we actually invited Mayor Loh En Ling to give an opening speech to about 300 companies from different sectors. And we are also working with different other TACs. So I'm very glad to invite Esme on board. Wilson used to be a district councillor in Southwest CDC too. That's how we got connected. So we will be bringing Esme on board onto this platform so that, like just now what the other presenters were sharing about, the PCP program, which is amazing. I mean, I'm quite glad to hear that, a lot of program that's out there to help mid-career switchers. And on the ground myself, because of what I'm doing, I actually get a lot of MPs and ministers sending me their resumes of their residents trying to match with employment. And we see a huge surge of PMETs, mid-career switchers, who are keen to find jobs in other industry, which is why we came together and we hope to be a platform that is an aggregator to help people and employers from different industry and also to help different communities. So I'll just share a little bit with you. So what happened was I'm employing myself. I run my own business in retail, service, as well as logistic. So the thing is that, because of COVID-19, we all came together. So there are about 800 businesses that came together on a chat group, right? And I decided to take up the part of employment because I feel, so some of them are fighting on leases, on a fair tenancy. I took up the part of manpower. And last year in November, because of my position as a community leader, I was able to reach out to the community to actually hold job fairs. So we started the first job fair that is not initiated by E2I or WSG, but it's really organically done by ourselves. So I just show you a glimpse of it. I'm very mindful of the time I'm given. Yeah, so I just show you that our job fair, community job fair, is actually quite big. We have, in this particular first job fair we had 20 physical booths for face-to-face with employers, and we are representing 80 employers on the virtual side. So I just show you a little bit on this. Are you able to hear the sound? Can you hear the sound? So I just want to share a little pause and go. So the two in the middle, they are the MP, one from Keat Hong, he's Zul, and the other one is from Brickland. They are two MPs. So you can see that the size of the job fair, we have minimum 20. Just now you saw the physical booth, we have about 20 of the physical booth. And behind that, some physical booths are actually aggregator, where we represent smaller companies who can't be given a booth because of vacancies available. We only give booth to people with certain number of, because we need to justify the booth anyways. So this is what we are doing. So at the end of the day, we try to help. Our mandate is to help every employer, whether you're big, you're small, you're hiring one person, we will also try to represent you at the community job fair. Because at the end of the day, we are quite desperate to hire staff. And I think all of you also share the same pain here, like, we can't find them. So which is why I feel that community job fair would be a good platform to reach out to employees that we don't normally see. And it has been quite successful. We have done the third job fair, which is why we decided instead, so this is a job fair module, and we also try to match people together. So we decided there's this tech company that came in during the first journey. So we are able to bring so many people on the job fair for a very simple reason. We used, okay, the other thing I want to talk about is the kind of companies we brought in. This is the first job fair that we had. And I'm showing you only the 40 companies out of 80 we represented. So to me, a job fair should have a good representation of different sectors. It cannot be just only frontline or logistic. It must be of different sectors, and then you can attract job seekers. And this is exactly what happened, because I think there's a lot of job fair fatigue there right now, especially the smaller ones. So which is why ours are really quite big, and we wanted to attract different people from different industry. And we realized after doing a few job fair, the advantage of having different partners coming in to attract job seekers is that, for example, we have tech people who comes in thinking they only work for tech companies, but they are not aware that even FMB groups are hiring tech people. This is what I mean by, we need to give option to job seekers at the end of the day. And we had quite successful run, which is why we are working with Southwest CDC for the next project we are doing. And how do we do it? How do we actually bring so many employers on the ground? The reason why most of the job fair right now are conducted in a very small size is because of SMM, the safe distancing measure, right? But for us, because of this tech company, actually converted the headcount of the people into, because most of the job fair right now, a lot of space are given to waiting, to people to wait for the jobs to be interviewed. For us, we converted it to a small little space like this, and everyone is actually on, so they have to sign in. After they sign in, when an employer were to call you, you will come on site. So a very small space is allocated for job seekers, and all the headcount is given to employers. So we are able to represent many employers on the ground. So basically using IT, using technology, we're talking about digitization and how do we harness that. I think this is a very good example. So on the top right-hand corner, you can see every job booth will be given like we'll be using an iPad or a laptop. When a job seeker comes in, we can notify them. When they notify them, then they come to the booth itself. We also have a mix. So people were asking me, you say that you have 20 booths, then how do you represent 80 companies? So what we do is that we actually do a mixture of physical booths. At the same time, some physical booths represent companies where we do Zoom call. And of course, after what we have done, we've evolved, and now we are working with Southwest Community. So Southwest Community, for those you're not very sure, I will just show you this map, okay? Yeah, even though I'm serving there for a long time and I don't stay there, yeah, this is a very good map that I think I can show. So Southwest CDC or Southwest District, It's made up of 18 divisions. I think some of you can recognize the division. So each division is helmed by one minister or one MP, and they're altogether 18 of them. 18 division means that there are 3 GRC and 4 SMC, and it's home to 770,000 residents. So the upcoming job fair that we are doing, we are partnering Southwest, and the advertising and the platform will be reaching out to this 770,000 residents. So we'll be doing 3 job fair. One will be at Jurong Spring. SM Taman will be there to launch the this particular job fair and this job model and also job portal. And West Coast GRC, this is the next one. The last one is Choa Chu Kang. The one that you saw, the place that we have is at Keat Hong CC. It's just next to Lot 1. So the location is very good. And we are also having other non-Southwest organized job fair like Keat Hong, which is coming up next on the 16th and 17th. So there's a list of job fair that's coming up, pipeline of job fair that's coming up that we will actually share on the portal. So I'll be inviting SME to come on board as aggregator. So we give them a booth. So members here can actually sign up with them. But in order to participate in this job fair, you will need to be first on the portal first. Yeah. So I'll share with you something else. Sorry, I can't seem to move this thing. Okay. Okay, so how do we actually change? As you can see, we wanted to change how we search or look for employees. And like I mentioned, there's a lot of job fair fatigue right now. And we wanted to rebrand the whole way of how people look at job fair. And it doesn't mean community job fair is only for blue collar. There are also companies that's coming in looking for engineers. In fact, we are also touching base with schools. So now I have on my hand 100 graduates that is mid-career switchers. They have gone through certain program and they're skilled from different industry. And they're keen to join the engineering field or any other fields that can get them a job. So I have about 100 of them that will be coming on board soon. So if you have any engineering jobs, do put on a portal. They will be there. And if you are hiring quite a number of them, you can contact me. I will point you to the school and tell the job seeker to look at your company. This is what we are doing as aggregator on the ground right now. So in terms of marketing, what we are doing, I will show you a TVC that we've done for the Keat Hong Job Fair, and I'll show you the one done by Southwest CDC. This is the Keat Hong Job Fair. Okay, for this Keat Hong, you can see the ad. Sorry, the tagline is different jobs for different people. We are also trying to do our part to change the mindset of Singaporean. There's no such thing as a good job or bad job. There's always a job for you, and there's different job for different people because, you know, suitability and a lot of host other factors. So other than the advertising, so this TVC is actually played in all the live landing at Keat Hong division, which is home to about 30,000 residents. Right, so that's for our publicity for this particular job fair. So you can see that we also revamped the whole way, how the whole CC look when it comes to, okay, you know, the job fair itself. So the banners. So how do we do that? It's because the company that we're working with, I'll introduce you, and that is Good. Good is actually a company that has got an IT arm and a full-fledged creative arm. So you can see the creative that's done this way is actually very unique and give the people a very refreshing look. So now I share with you the Southwest Community Job Fair, which is the major one that we're looking at, and the advertising for this. We haven't really launched it to the public, but then, you know, certain stakeholders get to see this. Let me share this with you. right? And this will be the ad that will be going out. I will show you where the reach will be. Okay, so basically it's based on a TVC. So you can see that this is really done by professionals. And because there's a creative agency as in part of Good that's doing this. So for the marketing, we are looking at 110 street banners across the district at strategic location from July to November, 10 outdoor billboards, and we'll be targeting all the TVCs, putting the TVCs at the, at all the 2,000 lift landing in the whole of Southwest District. We are also working with MPs where they will share with the resident who needs a job to move them to this particular portal. So we are doing different things, also working with schools to try to get as many people on board as possible. And the best thing is that this whole thing, the whole initiative, even exhibiting at the job booth, is actually free of charge. So I will share with you what is Good. Good is actually, I would say it's a new company, but the business behind is not new. So it's made up of like tech companies as well as creative company. So this guy called Eric, he's also a district councillor at Southwest CDC, which is why we decided to launch this Southwest CDC, reason being that this is our home ground. And so he created a free to use job portal for local SMEs. And of course, people ask, what is the revenue model? So the revenue model is actually advertising. Which is actually useful for employers like us, because for me, I try to look for my staff on Job Street and many other ways. Even after paying, I still don't get my staff at the end of the day. So just some of the projects. So for Good, they have done a few community job fair. And the other thing I want to highlight is that they have other business arms. One of it is intellectual property. So the Doraemon and National Museum is also done by them. So we're working with very good partners. And the tech part, their clients are Changi Airport Group, AIA, CPF, StarHub, and Dentsu. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to rebrand and rethink the nature of job fair and job search in Singapore. We want the power of recruitment back to the employers. And so every employer, okay, you'll be represented at the job portal and at the job fair. And we also want to give back diversity of choices back to job seekers by not charging employers. I will see that we will have a lot of people on this portal, especially employers, and that will give them more choices. And I would say that this is the only job portal that we actually have an integrated pipeline of physical job fair. So it's rather COVID-proof. So let's say physical job fair you can hold, then we will move onto the portal, right? And you can hire people beyond the job fair. So because, people can, depending on how we market it, so there'll be people coming from different channels. And this is a full-fledged job portal with a backend portal for both employers and job seekers. So this is beyond just, job matching. It's about community-centric effort. So I treat the association, the TACs, as a stakeholder, and I work with them very closely. I take feedback. So I will communicate that to tech people. We treat companies, we treat even the MPs, the grassroots leaders, and also schools as important stakeholders. So just to cut the whole thing shorter so that, I can share with you that there are some onboarding session that is upcoming. There'll be one tomorrow. So if you want to join us on the portal, you can join me tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I'll be doing another onboarding session where I will share how exactly to go on board. It's not difficult. But then, there's certain things I need to share with you because the job portal allows the company to have even very complex hiring model. Like, for example, NUHS, the whole NUHS group is with us, all the hospitals with us, RWS is with us, SAMCOP is with us, all the 4 verticals. So, if let's say there are bigger companies here, which are like, they have different hiring departments, we can actually share with you how they can do that so that the HR only sees certain data they're supposed to see. And we also have a clinic session. We call it a Good Clinic for people who have attended onboarding, but still have some issues. So we are there to address it. The other thing I want to share is actually the tech support group. Let's say if you decide, the other thing is that if you want to join us via SME, because we actually work with SME in the sense that if you were to join us, we will give you a link. We will give them shortly. They will email to you guys if you want to join on board. Then you'll be tagged with SME. SME will play the role of being aggregator. So if there's any feedback, they can come from SME and we can talk to them. And not only that, during job fairs, the SME can also represent you. To do virtual interviews and things like that. So which is why don't quickly jump into it and go to the portal to sign up an account, but just wait for the link and we will send to you shortly. and you can sign up through there. So there are some helpline I would like to let you know. Telegram chat where the tech support group from the good people will actually come in to help you. We have on board close to about 200 companies, 230 companies already registered. About 160 have put up jobs. So we have about 2,600 jobs vacancies listed on the portal already. We are preparing for the advertising to be out for the job fair and our major launch on the 23rd and 24th of July. So yeah, do join us. And if you want to join the session, there's a WhatsApp number. You can actually WhatsApp me so that I will know who to anticipate. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm done with sharing.
All right. Thank you so much, Jenny. So I'm going to just jump in here. Hi, everyone. This is Wilson. So this last part, technically, we only have left 6 minutes for the.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's not you. It's just collectively. So I guess I just want to invite the other speakers as well. Esther, Glenda, Annie, as well as Keldon from Vantage. All right. So I have a few questions. I guess I just want to open up and inform the panel. Anyone feel free to respond. Okay. So there was one actually question that surfaced. Can the existing marine people participate in a PCP to work for another maritime sector? I guess I just open this up. Anyone wants to feel free to weigh in on that.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me? Okay, great. So okay, I can't tell whether it's a Miss or Mr. So can existing marine people, so do you mean like whoever asked this question, do you actually mean can someone from marine offshore work in the overall maritime sector? I mean outside of marine through the PCP? The short answer is yes. PCPs allows people to switch from one industry to the next. Definitely it depends on whether the employer on the other side finds the person a match, because it's not just in terms of skills match. You also need to see whether the person is a fit with the organization. So the usual interview process will go on. But yes, existing marine people definitely can participate in PCP to work in another maritime sector. But within marine itself, you want to work from you want to go from, let's say, for marine engineering and go into like ship refurbishing, or anywhere within you want to move around in the marine sector, but you want to do a different role within the marine sector, that is possible, yes.
All right, thank you so much, Esther. One other question that came up is this on JGI. So earlier you shared about the job support, not job support scheme, about the PCP. And then there are the 3 different modalities. So how does the JGI impact it? Because we understand that JGI is ongoing. So how does it impact the funding itself? I think some companies are keen to find out what's the relation.
Yes, so JGI itself, I'll be the first to admit, JGI itself is quite a complicated process, but do know that it only affects the PCP for new hires. That means when you are tapping on PCP to get new people in, this is not for existing workers. So only when you tap on the PCP for new hires, then you can get the JGI as a stackable program. Yeah. For the JGI funding, so under JGI, the government will co-pay up to 25% of the salaries of all new local hires between September 2020 to September 2021. The JGI will provide up to 12 months of salary support for each non-mature local hire and 18 months of support for each mature hire, persons with disability or ex-offenders hired by employers that manage to increase your local workforce within the qualifying window. So the qualifying window in the sense is the September 2020 to September 2021. The support, of course, significant, 25% for the non-mature and 50% for the mature whole hires aged 40 and above, PWDs and ex-offenders. The reason why there's 50% for this particular group is because they are the ones who need extra support. These are the job seekers in the workforce who actually need extra support for us to get them back into jobs, into the workforce. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Esther. So I'm going to just using a moderator discretion. So last question, maybe I will ask that specifically to all the 3 panelists that share. So Annie, Glenda, as well as Keldon. So just one very simple question. What was the myth that you realized has been busted where before and after you come aboard PCP? So just to try to debunk some of the misunderstanding that you felt, actually you go through the whole program, it wasn't that bad. So I see Annie's camera on. Maybe I'll just arrow Annie first.
I think one of the, probably the myth was like, the company or the candidates will have no time to cope with both trainings and on the job. And it's only for those people who that have to go through training, classroom training, which is maybe boring. But going through the program has really benefited both the company and the candidates in a structured way that we learn and relearn. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much on that. Then how about Glenda, for especially your side for redeployment, because you were sharing about your redeployment effort. So what was anything that has changed before and after you got through the program?
I guess the first thing is the mindset of our colleagues, on the shop floor. They were quite appreciative that they were put into different job skills to retrain. At the same time, they also understand that if the oil and gas, the direction is going to be a impasse, it means that 无路可走了. Right, at least the management is looking for new direction, and there must be an action plan, how to get there, right? So I guess I think it built trust. It built trust and loyalty also.
Thank you, Glenda. And last but not least, Kelvin. Are you on mute?
Yeah, I would like to agree with Glendon with this ulu kerzo. So it's basically a change of the mindset and the culture that was already been adapted individually for maybe like 10, 15 years. For me, it was like a good 10 years changing over to marine industry. So need to equip with the right mindset and give yourself the right to do the right thing. I would say that.
Right. Thank you, Gordon. All right, and I'm going to have the last question to Jenny. So we spoke a lot about the grant itself, getting support from the SME itself. So the portal is the part that the missing piece. We all have problem trying to get Singaporeans. So maybe Jenny, just maybe a quick one, because there are so many portals out there. I know you briefly mentioned it. So what is the one unique selling point you think that for your this portal that is again driven by business to business that would actually help the companies to really get the locals?
Okay, number one, this portal, we don't charge employers. I think that is already a very big help. The thing is that they are reaching out to the community. So I would say that this is the only portal with a part, they're working with the community space to allow employers to have a chance to meet employees face to face. So there's a series of pipelines. So even though that we are working with Southwest CDC, we have been approached by MPs and different divisions from other parts of Singapore to actually bring the job fair and in fact the whole portal to other places. So you can see if companies that have listed with us, they are from everywhere in Singapore. Yeah, it's not only Southwest. Yeah, so this is what we're trying to do, be a portal where we can hire 24 hours and have an opportunity for us to meet our candidates. I think that will be something that is very needed, especially for certain industry. Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny. I thought I just want to add very quickly, one of the reasons why I also wanted to reach out, because with the primary focus, at least now, is on Southwest, a lot of our marine and offshore companies are in the same region. So it actually helps, because one of the common concerns which when I first joined, I learned is there are a lot of people who feel that distance is an issue, but because this is within Southwest, it might actually help to solve that. Hopefully that will give a higher chance of getting more Singaporeans and PR to join the industry.
Yeah,
right.
And there are a lot of mature PMETs that's floating around looking for jobs. So I feel that if there are workers who really want to work, I think it could be because you cannot find the right employer. So what we're trying to do is to create a platform for everyone to meet together. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Jenny. And again, I just want to thank all the panelists, Esther, Annie, Glenda, Kelvin, as well as Jenny for your time today. So as well, thank you so much, everyone, for making time now for the past 1.5 hours. So with that, I'll hand back to Gyoxy to actually close the whole session. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Wilson. Yeah, we've come to the end of our webinar, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for making time for this webinar, and I hope this has benefited all of you. And do tap on the PCP. We have a QR form, a QR code where you can scan a survey form to respond, to give us your response for the PCP. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. Yeah. Can I also request for our panelists to stay behind for group photo? Thank you. Oh, okay. Just one last point. We also have this upcoming carbon management workshop, which maybe interest some of you. So please do sign up for this workshop, which is happening on the 14th of July. You may scan the QR code, yeah, for more details. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Gyoxy. So, panelists, maybe just a moment. Can we just do